Hola, hola a todos. I hope you're doing well. My name is Estrellita, and I'm a first-generation Latina college and postgrad coach that supports first-generation college students and graduates through higher education paths and postgrad opportunities. And I'm so happy to be back for another video. And today we are going to be talking about what to do when you fail a class. These are topics I feel I should have heard of, been made aware of when I was an undergrad, but even when I did a quick YouTube search right now before filming this video, not much was popping up. I kept seeing more videos talk about how to study like a straight A student, this, that, which is great. We need a little bit of everything for success. Pero I also wanted to share this perspective because honestly, college, university, it can be very hard, especially if you are a working first generation student. And it's conversations like these that can truly make a difference for somebody regarding if they want to continue their studies or not. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, número uno, give yourself grace and allow yourself to feel all your feelings porque you're human. And honestly, college is a whole new learning curve. Expectations are just different when you are in university in comparison to high school, community college. That's okay. It's just all about adjusting, and you are learning how to adjust. And with you going through these different chapters of life adjustments as a first generation college student, future graduate, future professional, that's only going to help you when you are in the career chapter of your life where adjustments are always going to constantly be thrown at you. For example, my first quarter at Santa Barbara, I took a calculus class because it was required for my psychology major at the time before I did the switch. And I studied so much. I spent most of my time studying for that one class, and I didn't put in that much time for my other classes. Honestly, not the best approach, at least for me and the way that I learn as a student. Then next thing you know, I ended up failing that calculus class. Then for the other classes, I didn't get the best grades that I wanted. Even though I know I gave it my all, I went to tutoring, I went to office hours, all of this, I still found myself giving myself such a hard time. Like, ay, Estrella, you should have done this different. You should have, but that wasn't helping. And if anything, that made me start my second quarter with a very negative mindset about myself and my learning and my success. It shouldn't have happened at all. What should have happened was me sitting down and just looking like, hey, I tried my best. If these classes weren't working out and they're needed for this major, well, what else can you do next? Is there other major options you can consider, different classes, all that stuff? Because we can't let one quarter, one semester affect how we go about the next quarters and semesters we have coming up. Which now brings us to número dos. Analyze your options. So what are your options? Are you going to retake the class? Are you going to consider a different major? If you retake the class, are you going to retake it right away? Or are you going to retake it a later time so that you can focus on picking the major for you instead of retaking a class that isn't going to fall into the major you're trying to do? So for example, that calculus class, I didn't take it again the following quarter because for me, I was like, nope, I only have 2 years as a community college student. I need to figure out another major that feels more aligned with me and my learning and future career success. So I'm going to go to the Transfer Student Counseling Center, figure out what I can do, what is out there for me. And then my final quarter of undergrad, I will retake that calculus course. And that's essentially what I did. Ended up passing the class the second time around. But for me, because I knew I only had 2 years left in undergrad, time was just very crucial for me. So if I would have started at Santa Barbara right after high school, having those 4 years, I probably would have considered more retaking that calculus class the following semester because I still would have had those 4 years to really explore. But again, for me, because I knew I needed to hit just 2 years in undergrad so that I wouldn't have to take out heavy loans for undergrad. So when I would start grad school, I would have more funding options because I didn't use all my funding options for undergrad. Ahora, número tres, what will you do different? So after analyzing all your options, while giving yourself grace, that's when I want you to reflect and think, did I go to office hours enough? Could I have done more? Did on-campus tutoring help me so much? Maybe I should explore off-campus tutoring. Should you consider reaching out to your classmates to form a study group, a reading group? You could all divide the work equally and then come together and share your results, share what you learn with one another as you navigate the assignments, the exams, the deadlines that are given to you for these classes. Should you consider not participating so much in extracurriculars on your campus just for the time being so that you could get the more challenging classes out of the way? And once you feel like your classes are more manageable, that's when you can get involved again in all these extracurriculars. Should you consider working less hours at your part-time or full-time job? And if so, should you consider taking out some student loans, but not too much, so that way when you do graduate, if you only take out a $4,000 or $5,000 student loan so that you could have a semester of quarter just to focus on classes, then once you graduate and you start applying to jobs, you can just do what you can to pay off those loans as soon as possible before interest starts accumulating. There's all these different options, all these different things that you can analyze, but I just want you to remember, as you are figuring out what is best for you and your success, keep in mind that your knowledge, your experiences, you are your greatest investment. So whatever that looks like for you, do what you can to give it to yourself. Example I could give about student loans is one of my clients, right before they joined the membership, they actually had paid off their student loans because they wanted to go to grad school. And when they were in undergrad, they were a working student, but there were times where they had to take out money. And once they graduated, their student loans were about $7,000. And luego, once they were in the job market, they worked 2 jobs to just pay back and put as much money as they can into their student loans. Next thing you know, they paid off their student loans. Just quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, but I do want to share examples and just different things that you can think about that will help you figure out what is best for you. And that you always remember, whatever decision you make, do it with strategy. Really take the time to analyze all your options before picking. So again, touching a little bit back on student loans, if you do have to take out a student loan, just sit down and figure out, okay, how much do I need to take out? How can I go about making it work with this amount of money so I don't have to take out more? So then once I graduate, then I strategize different to pay off as much of it as I can right after graduation. Lastly, numero 4, I want you to still live your life. I know you have so much on your plate. I know you're wanting to make sure that you do the best for you and future you. But just because you may fail a class, you may fail an exam, doesn't mean you are not worthy of living your life. Remember, everything you are experiencing, have experienced, is all part of your story, your success. And one day you are going to be sharing your story to others who come to you to ask for advice on how you did it. Just know setbacks happen. Just know we get up and we try again. We pivot where necessary, but don't stop living your life. Okay? All right, mi gente, thank you so much for tuning in on today's video. I'm so happy you were able to be here. If you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Cafecito con Estrellita YouTube channel as we continue growing our family over here. If you are interested in one-on-one and community-based support, please check out the Cafecito con Estrellita membership. I will be linking it down below. Cuídense y hablamos pronto. Adiós.